My name is Sophia Emanuel. I'm a trichologist. I help people who have problems with their hair and scalp find solutions. Today, I'm here with Steve McGee, CEO of NeoGenesis. Last time we met, we discussed three particular case studies with some clients of mine who are using the NeoGenesis hair thickening serum. Today, we're going to show some after results with these clients, 60 days using the NeoGenesis hair thickening serum. Hi, Steve. How are you today? I'm so excited to show these results.
Sophia, I'm so excited as well, and it's great to be with you again. And as I think you said before, like we're one third of the way through the journey at 2 months, right? We've got 6 months all together, but we're just checking in like we said we would 2 months ago. We're doing an update. No matter what the outcome is, we're showing it, right?
Yes, we are. We're showing the results in real time. But before we get started showing the results, I wanted to let the audience know that we do have some testimonials that we're going to share today from the clients, as well as pictures for you to see as well. And then, Steve, I just wanted to remind the audience, how does the serum work in case some people weren't here for the first live? We can let them know a little bit about the serum and the benefits and how it works.
Yeah, in short, the serum is providing the follicles and the surrounding skin tissue with the nutrients that Mother Nature would normally provide when that tissue is young and healthy. But as things occur, like the traction alopecia or the other issues that you'll talk about with your expertise, the body's not able to produce enough of the nourishment that it needs. So we're topically providing what Mother Nature would be providing if she were young and healthy.
Yes, and that's a question I get asked a lot in the salon. People are very excited to learn about stem cells, and they've used it for different parts of their body that may have had issues like, carpal tunnel or different pain management. So they're very impressed with being able to use it for their scalp. So are you ready to get started with case study number one?
Number one.
Yes, let's go.
But I do notice that there is, especially like in my Willows Peak area, I've noticed that the hair is coming in there. To see how fast it's going, it's almost crazy. For the most part, most women of color put products in their hair. And so it's not like I have to wash, like I'm still seeing results, even though like I wash my hair once a week, I put products in it. So it's not like this product can't navigate through the product. Like it's strong to still penetrate it.
Yeah, so that was some feedback from case study number one, and she's very happy. I would say that the most impressed she's been is with her hairline results, which is in this first slide right here, because she hadn't been able to get her hairline to grow for some time now, and it's just been very slow growth or not at all. And one thing that she mentioned in her testimonial is that she now can see some growth in her widow's peak, because that had actually disappeared. Now she does have follicles in those areas, but for some reason it was very slow growth, and that goes back to her having that traction alopecia that sometimes can cause inflammation of the hair follicle, which can lead to slow growth or no growth at all. So she's been very impressed so far. And this slide right here, she's also starting to notice some growth. If you look at that 30-day slide compared to the 60-day picture, you can actually see there is some growth in that area as well, which for a long time was, again, very stagnated, very slow. And she's just been happy, very happy. And this particular client, she doesn't like to do a lot of steps with her hair care routine. So she actually decided to just use the serum by itself, which is really good to see somebody just using the serum alone. None of the other treatments that I've recommended, except for Viviscal. She's using a hair care supplement for as well. But she's basically just using the serum alone, and she's been able to get really good results just with that by itself. So it's pretty impressive so far, and we're both happy with her results.
Now, I'm curious, Sophia, you triggered a question in my mind, which is, with this case study, was she, in addition to having the traction alopecia, did you say that she had some issues with scarring as well?
Yes, well, traction alopecia can lead to scarring. So scarring is basically when your hair follicle is destroyed and your hair can no longer grow through the pore opening of the scalp. So that is the problem that she has. In some areas of her scalp, she does have some scarring, and that's from years and years of wearing braids. Some of it is also from relaxers or improper relaxing too often, or using a too strong of a strength of a relaxer. So those are some things that had been done through the years that caused inflammation, which led to scarring, which means that the follicle closes up, and the hair wasn't able to grow back in some areas of the scalp. But there are some surrounding areas where she still has follicles that are open and able to produce hair, but they were just growing very slow. So since she's been using the serum, she's actually seeing a lot more growth in those areas where she still has active hair follicles. So that's the difference. That's how has this been helping her, is just giving her growth in those areas where it was very slow at one point. And
I
if you,
think there are two interesting comments there. One being just what you just rattled off on the relaxers and so on. You know, that kind of guidance to people sooner in their hair care program is so important. And I know that's the type of, part of the guidance that you give to your clients when they're going through treatment with you.
Yes, exactly. It's not just about purchasing the product first, but it's actually finding out the type of hair loss that you have and what you need to do to prevent further hair loss, as well as is there anything else that could be causing the hair loss. In her particular case, it was just basically, some styling mechanisms that she had to change, some different ways she had to wear her hair and looser hairstyles, and basically understanding that she did have some damage, but you don't leave that damage and do nothing. You still try to prevent further damage by using products and different tools that can help encourage growth in the areas where you still have follicles. Because inflammation can move around the scalp, it can move around, and then you can end up with losing even more hair loss, losing more hair because of the fact that the follicles are still inflamed in specific areas of the scalp.
So it sounds like, because I know we've got down the QR code where people can buy the product through your website,
Right.
which is great. But it sounds like, really the best thing to do is to talk to you, get a short consult with you.
Right.
Do they have to come in person? Can they get a consult from a video conference if they live out of your general area? What
Yes.
goes on there?
Yes, definitely. I can do a virtual consultations as well, because it's just important for me to make sure that before I recommend any product or service to you, that I understand what's going on with your hair and with your scalp. It just makes more sense to do it that way, for me to see overall what issues are you dealing with, and then I can offer you the best solution. And that can also include, and most of the times it will include, using the NeoGenesis hair thickening serum as well.
Awesome. Okay, good. Thank you for that, by the way.
Yes. No problem.
Cool. Case study
Yeah.
number 2.
Case study number 2. Here we go.
The thing is patience, because I knew with hair, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen
Yeah,
overnight.
exactly.
There were two friends I hadn't seen.
Mhm.
One, in fact, she does hair, and she said, "Oh, your hair
Oh,
is getting thicker." She noticed.
Mm.
I didn't say a word. And if we're talking about the thickness of it, like I see it coming in now. Yeah,
right.
especially like you said, the temples.
Got you.
And it's been honestly a couple of months, a month or more, that I haven't had to use the fiber builder to cover up anything. I'm not using it at all.
Yes. So this case study number 2 was very impressed as well, and as well as myself. I was very impressed at how fast she started seeing results. Now, I don't want people to be confused and think that, okay, you're going to start seeing everybody's, case is going to be different. So these particular clients actually did start seeing results a lot sooner than I thought they would, right? So this client in particular started getting a lot of results in the back of her head at the nape area, where she had been dealing with alopecia areata, which also causes the hair follicles to grow hair kind of slow, very thin, very fine, and sometimes not at all, right? So in her case, she had been dealing with this for about maybe 10 years or longer, where there was just no growth in the back of her head. And since using the serum, she's noticed more growth in the back of her head now. If we go to those pictures where you see the scope photos, if we can go to the scope photos of her scalp, of the nape, so we can show those. Yeah, so here we go right here. So if you look at day 60, you can see how some of those hairs are darker and thicker now compared to
Mm.
day 0. That is the growth that we've been able to see. So it's not just that the hair is growing back in thin, it's actually growing back in a lot fuller, a lot denser than she had before. If you notice, you could kind of count the amount of thicker hairs that she has on day 60 and compared to day 0, and you can see the difference. Day 0, she has a lot more of those vellus hairs, those fine, thin hairs, opposed to day 60, you can kind of see all those thicker, darker strands of hairs that are coming in. So that's basically the proof is basically in the pudding that the serum is definitely helping her.
Good
And as she
analysis.
puts it, she doesn't have a rat's tail ponytail anymore. She has a fuller ponytail. She calls her ponytail a rat's tail. So she says she no longer has a rat's tail ponytail. She has a fuller ponytail. And she's been very happy. And we can go to her slide where she has the images, where we have the images of her sides. Yes. So even on her sides, she's definitely seeing results there as well. And she's not as self-conscious pulling her hair back, because before she was very self-conscious about pulling her hair back into a ponytail because it was very thin in those areas in the temples. Now she can wear her hair back more confidently without feeling insecure about that. So
Yeah,
it's been
that's
very
really, I mean,
helpful. It's been very helpful, and I'm very happy to be able to help them find something that really, works for them, where they see the results, where I'm not telling them that the hair is growing back, but they can actually see it for themselves. They can see it and they can feel it. And that's important to me, to be able to give that to clients.
yeah, it's got to be satisfying. I mean, you're restoring their self-esteem, right?
Right, definitely. Or helping them, part of the journey. And hair, hair matters to a lot of people. It's very important to women to have healthy hair, not just length, but just healthy. It can be very, depressing when you lose your hair. And that can make your hair fall out more. So when you find something that works for it, it's important to continue using it, be consistent, so that you could see the results for yourself. So I'm happy to be able to share that with them.
So true. And I think you said that you can help any person, but you really love helping women of color. That's kind of,
Right.
that's your area of focus, to really help those
Yeah.
women that are using a lot of the braiding and so
Right.
on, that
Yes.
you can.
Yes. And prevention. I want to be able to help them prevent a lot of these types of hair loss before they happen, before it's too late. Because once inflammation takes place on the scalp, sometimes it can be impossible for your hair to grow back if you do too much damage. So you want to catch the person before the damage is done. So that's what I'm all about. That's my message that I want to send to a lot of my clients, is that, you want to prevent these things before they get out of control and you can't, grow your hair back. So that's important to me.
So once you begin to just notice even a little bit
Yeah,
of
you need to start a
thinning of the
program.
hair, get to
Yes.
you as quick
Yeah.
as
As
possible.
possible. Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
So now we're going to go to case study number 3.
I do see growth. I do. Um, Compared to where I was, and to now, I do see growth, which is good.
Yes. So this client also, as I mentioned before, had some other stressors in her life that were causing her hair to fall. So I mentioned in the first video that we did, I talked about her health. That was a major concern, specifically her iron levels, right? That caused a lot of shedding, and it unmasked another type of hair loss, which is called androgenetic alopecia. So in fact, she was dealing with 2 different types of hair loss at the time. And then she was very stressed for different reasons personally. So that was a third factor. So she had 3 different factors that was affecting her hair, about 3 to 4, I should say, 4 different factors that was affecting her hair. And it made her very sad. She didn't like looking at her hair because it was just very thin. She always had full, long hair, and her hair was just coming out, too much. So once we started managing her stress, once I tried to help her or educate her on how stress was affecting her hair in all areas of her life, because stress shows up different in all areas. It can be health related, it could be emotional stress that she was dealing with at the time. Once we addressed those things for her, she was able to manage her stress better. And then I taught her what what she needed to do to kind of like take care of her hair better at home. Once we did those things, she started to see some improvements. And once we added the NeoGenesis hair thickening serum to her regimen, she really started to see her hair take off, to the point where when she leaves the salon now, she gets so many compliments, and that really boosts her confidence, because other people started noticing that her hair was improving and looking a lot healthier, because people will come up to her and be like, "Oh my God, what happened to your hair? Why is your hair so thin? You always have beautiful hair." So now she feels more confident because other people are noticing, as well as herself, that her hair is a lot healthier. So I'm happy about that. And I'm just not seeing the shedding as much as I was seeing it before, prior to us using the NeoGenesis hair thickening serum. So it's been great for her as well, for her confidence, and just for her overall health of her hair.
I think it's fantastic that you're doing this with these three particular people. I know you can help even more people, but just in the interviews that I've been involved with them, the update, their energy is just brighter. Their faces are brighter.
Yes.
You're helping to create a renewed them.
Yes, exactly. And that's what's important. Again, like I said before, when you lose your hair, it can be very depressing, and it can cause more hair to fall out during that time. And sometimes you could be so depressed, you don't even want to take care of it. You don't want to shampoo it. You don't want to touch it, because you feel like if I touch it, if I wash it, I'm just going to see more hair fall out. So I don't even want to bother with it. I just want to leave it alone. And that's like the worst thing you can do at that point, because then you're not really caring for it the way it should be cared for. And you end up in a worse situation with your hair. So I think it's important to just get to a specialist who can definitely help you figure out a plan, meet you where you are, so that you can, get to the road of recovery.
And what's the best way that you like people to reach out to you when they want to get that consult, whether they're coming in to you, see you directly, or they're going to visit with you by video? How do you want them to reach you?
They can go directly to my website, and they can shoot me an email at sophia.se@gmail.com. But the best way to make an appointment, I have a digital scheduling system where you can schedule your appointment right from my website. But if you would like a virtual consultation, you can email me at crownworthy.se@gmail.com, and I'll be able to help you set up an appointment that way as well. So you can also find me at Sophia Knows Hair on Instagram. That's also another way. You can send me a direct message, and I'll be able to respond to you that way as well. That way it seems easier for most people, through Instagram. So just go to at Sophia Knows Hair on Instagram, send me a direct message, and I'll be able to respond to your concerns or questions from there.
This is exciting. So when do we get back together?
So we are going to get back together in December. We'll see each other again in December, to show off more fabulous results, because it's only going to get better from here. I'm positive. I always try to tell my customers to be positive. And any growth is some growth. So we're not looking for 100% regrowth. We're looking for steady progress, realistic results. Is what I try to tell my clients, to be realistic and manage expectations. So that's what I'm happy about, is that we'll be able to show these results in real time. So I'm excited about that. And I want to thank the audience for tuning in. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And we'll see you in December. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for having me, Steve.
Sophia, as usual, you're just fun to work with. And thanks for your time today. And let's go do good things together.
Yes, and one more thing. Thanks for creating such a great product. My clients really love it. I really love it. And I usually don't do these types of meetings. So this means a lot for me to be able to do this with you today. That means that I take it seriously. So just thank you so much. I really do appreciate us being able to work together on this.
Wow. I'm the one that's deeply appreciative as well. Kind of like the Mutual Admiration Society.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I do. I really do appreciate this, because it's working so well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Bye.
Bye for now.
All right. See you later.